Just dropping in to give you a happy holidays from our Geek Family. Cheers. Hey.
Go ahead, Robert. Oh, you want me to introduce it, I guess, or you would like to?
It's all you, bro.
All right, well, since it's all me, he said, hey guys, welcome again to Talkin Geek, episode 15, season 1, the best geeky podcast in the verse. I am here today with the fabulous Robert, but I used that one, I just realized as I said it. So
How dare you not come up with a new new adjective.
I even had a new one and I forgot it. Like, that was completely my fault.
Sounds like a personal problem.
So we're here today, as you guys can see on cam with Robert right now. We have a couple of guests with us that we will be talking to in a moment.
Yep.
But we got a lot of stuff coming out today. We got some Christmas ideas. We have some Star Wars Episode 9 thoughts, the 2019 Game Awards, a brief thought on Watchmen, and other various bits of movie news here and there. But we're going to get started off with the interview with Dib and Jake from Battle Pit.
Yeah. So, guys, tell us a little bit about what is the Battle Pit. You know, what is it? How do people hear about it, and what do you guys do there?
Yeah, well, thanks for having us. First off,
of
it's
course.
super cool to be out here and talk about fighting. That's so. At its core essence, that's kind of what it is. It's combat. It's for us, we are very wide-reaching. So we're not as niche as like the term LARP goes.
Okay.
We kind of refer ourselves generally as just a sport. It's just a foam padded sport. So instead of simply throwing little pads of foam padded balls and shouting Thunderbolt, because we don't do that much, we're more about the actual the competition and kind of the sport element of it. But the way that we say it is that LARP for the Battle Pit is because it stands for live action role play, which for as people who don't know, it's basically role playing but in a real world setting.
Yeah.
And you see it in a lot of movies like Role Models.
Yes.
And,
Great movie.
It's a great movie. And we love those people that do it, but the way that we say it is that we bring the live action and then you guys bring the role play element. So
very cool. Very cool. Actually, I got a chance to hang out with you guys a little bit at UMACon a couple weeks ago. I think Aaron's going to throw up a video here of me fighting and losing.
Let me see.
Right away.
We do have that. Look at this. Right here, guys.
It's a good win.
Throw it up, yeah.
Yeah, it's up right now for all of you to watch this live right now. There it is.
Hey, this was
sucking at something is the first one. Being sort of good at it.
Well, this was our very first shot. Was me and see it's there. And Angel was battling, and Angel took me out right away.
to be fair, Angel absolutely used a weapon that is probably taller than us. So
that is true.
I mean,
Get a lot longer reach.
We have a couple of weapons that are kind of like Japanese samurai inspired, and he was using an odachi, which ranges in the like 4 feet, something crazy.
Gosh.
It's up to about my throat, and I'm like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, so long weapon. I think you had a lot going against you in that.
Yeah, fight. I mean, and you know, again, the video that you saw there was only very brief.
Yeah.
You know, we did probably like 10 or 15 minutes. I had a couple good shots. Captured on video.
Just one moment of your destruction.
Right.
But there was worlds of victories for you there.
For sure.
I was there. I can attest to it.
I appreciate that. I'll give you that 20 later.
So
what brought you guys together when you guys were actually, you know, figuring out that you wanted to do this? How did you guys come together and start it all?
Well, I know on our first meeting, I don't actually remember any of that because they were a child.
This was So we actually first physically met maybe 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, depending on who remembers.
Okay. Yeah. So he met me like 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I met him 8 or 9 years ago. I was very, very young.
We fought, I just didn't remember.
Yeah, if I can attempt to do math, I'm 24 now.
Okay.
And this was about 8 or 9 years ago, so I was probably at least 2 years old.
Whatever
At least.
Yeah. Probably older than that.
I was told there would be no math.
Yes, there was no math. Yeah, the notes that I was sent did not say anything about math.
No, for sure.
But
we're off script on this interview.
We had.
I worked so hard to get these things going.
Yeah.
That's how I get treated. Thanks, I appreciate it so much.
We had so when I had met him like 8 years ago, I just like I guess when I was so young, I looked up to him and I was like, because he's a great fighter and
I'm
really
okay.
yeah.
I'm not good. She's good.
No, that's not true. So, and I guess I just kind of looked up to him, and as you kind of you run into people all the time at conventions,
Yeah.
and you don't ever see them outside of the convention. But that one time, once you see them, you're bros.
Sure.
You're bros in that moment.
Yeah.
And it was maybe it was 5 years ago, I believe, because we always fought at conventions. There was always some sort of sword fighting event there.
Yeah.
And we were at A-Kon a couple, good 4 or 5 years ago, and there was no sword fighting. And we were like, we realized,
happened?
it dawned on us that we're like, wow, we don't know what to do at this convention.
Yeah, we were sitting at a table like by the bar. We're like,
Yeah.
we need like a map or something. Like, what happens at cons
We-
other than this?
We literally sat there with a schedule, and we had like a collective hive mind think tank. You would think that we're actually like the Shark Tank in that moment.
Nice.
Just like you could play the music and everything. We were trying to work with the schedule. We couldn't figure out what to do, and it was in that moment that we're just like, we're not gonna let this be the norms of conventions anymore.
Okay.
Like we're just if no one's gonna host fighting, we are, and so we did.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, you guys do, as you call it, fighting, and you have your battles. So how do you guys, what kind of matches do you guys host? Is it, we just saw a video where there was like 3 of us, so is it always like single combat? Do you guys do teams, like melee? What does it look like?
So we have a very wide range of games. It really depends on the population of the people at the ring at the time. So we can do anything from like one-on-ones, which we usually try and stray away from, just because we notice a lot of ego can get involved with that kind of culture.
Okay.
So we actually are more into either free-for-alls, like what y'all did, or big team games. I think we've had up to like 10-on-10
Nice.
games, all variety of weapons, because we allow people to bring in their own if they construct it, and we usually one of us will safety check it just
Okay.
because we want to make sure no one's getting hurt.
Nobody's hiding razor blades in their phone.
Yeah, right.
Wow, I've never.
That went south.
I'm just thinking, I'm a big movie guy, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking Slapshot.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever seen that, where they
90s
have like
Halloween.
razor blades in their.
That's
as they're,
insane.
fighting.
Yeah, I've seen a YouTube video where these guys had a competition where they tried to make the most deadly zombie apocalypse weapon off of Amazon.
Okay.
They had to just buy a bunch of stuff. So that's what that reminds me of.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Battle
one.
bots.
Yeah, you just put like nails in the bat.
Yeah.
And, like
Okay.
yeah, you go crazy.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Good
Yeah,
old
don't
pussy.
do that at all. Yeah, that won't pass our safety inspection at
No.
all.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so we have a variety of games.
Okay.
I think one of our most popular two. We have like regular team deathmatch. We have captured royalty. So we'll take 2 non-participants that like aren't usually in the fighting, so spectators can
Okay.
like get involved.
Yeah.
And they'll get to draft their team. And if they've been watching a while, they'll kind of know who the good people are. And I think the funnest one is when people just don't know who's good. They're like, I don't know. You have a huge sword. Let's go. And
Yeah.
then like one side will just be like strong fighters, and they'll be like big swords, but like not skilled, and just like, ugh.
Cosplayers,
Yeah.
cosplayers die for like being royalty.
Yeah.
We've found people that are like dressed up as like amazing, huge, elaborate cosplays, and I'm like, and I guess like you'll see like a Master Chief cosplayer, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
that Master Chief, this is now the kingdom of Halo. You are now fighting on behalf of Master Chief, and you
Nice.
must now rescue Master Chief.
That's pretty
So
cool.
Yeah.
like getting non-participants is so fun to get people who usually wouldn't be involved in
Yeah.
this deeper into it to just appreciate it as like a spectator sport, not even just participating.
Yeah, I when we were at UMCon, my booth was in a spectator spot, so I definitely could see.
Yeah, you had front row seats.
People were having lots of fun.
Yeah.
People were fighting each other and everything. Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. So when's your next event? Where can people find you guys and find out more about how to get involved?
So I know that probably one of the bigger events that most people might know about would be A-Kon. We do have A-Kon coming up, so up in Dallas. We will be going to that. But we actually are kind of in a phase where our next event could literally be next weekend, because we're now offering private services.
Okay.
So like if you like work for a company and you want a fun team building exercise or a good excuse to hit your boss,
Right.
Slap right across a little bit.
Yeah.
Cathartic event,
Yeah, if you want to get the pencil pusher department to start beating each other up, and that's how you like settle who gets what good stapler and
Okay.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do corporate events.
Said, don't touch my stapler.
Yeah. I said, don't touch my stapler.
Right.
Get you next
Yeah,
time.
that's good.
Birthday parties, and we have like a kid's birthday party coming up in January technically.
Oh,
So
cool.
so like we're looking to expand to do more things like that. So
Yeah.
our next event could be next weekend.
Sure.
If you so choose.
Yeah. So how do people find you guys?
You can just go to thebattlepit.com, so THE battlepit.com, or you can go to the Facebook page, The Battle Pit.
Nice.
And then everything's there. Everything you need, all of our portals to everything is on our website. You can even sign our liability waiver online. So,
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, here at Get Your Geek On, we always want to know what makes people geek. So outside of the Battle Pit, what makes you guys geek? What do you like? What's your niche? What do you really love?
Ooh, Spider-Man comics. Spider-Man and Venom. That gets me going.
There's my heart right there.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you and Aaron will have a long conversation
Yeah,
off
so
air.
that's why I pointed out the Venom Carnage stickers earlier on your
Yeah, yeah.
laptop.
Oh,
I
okay.
it was like, ooh,
It's
yes.
like the Armstrong Full Metal scene where they
Yeah,
just, they just shake hands.
You're like,
That's awesome.
That just happened, but within your mind.
I got you.
Yeah. So what about you?
So I actually am a content creator online. I do a lot of gaming stuff. So anything from like game marketing, so learning how to like SEO for YouTube and Instagram and Twitch, and even Mixer and Facebook gaming. There's lots to talk about there.
Awesome.
And then I just like to talk about some fun games. I like a lot of Square Enix stuff. Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy are like big ones for me. So you propped up for Kingdom Hearts, no? Not even a Kingdom Hearts guy?
3 was kind of a letdown.
Oh, that's fair. You know what? Yeah, we can start a club about that. Yeah, there's a community for that one, for sure.
For sure. Well, thanks again for coming on and talking about Battle Pit. You guys are going to stick around and talk about the rest of the show with us?
Yeah,
too,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Sweet. So, we're going to move on to our next topics, but definitely check out these guys, thebattlepit.com. I had a lot of fun. I had never done anything like it before, and I, had a chance to do that, and it was definitely fun. So I'm looking forward to the next time I get a chance to battle Angel and hopefully get some video of me actually beating him, because I definitely did.
Yeah, we'll just have to get a video.
I just don't like the video that it makes it look like All right, we're going to move on.
So
Maybe look like a little
also
You
want
didn't
to
catch my good side.
Right? Yeah.
Let me remove this. And so I also want to state, now that we're done with that part, we can say Kyle's here now.
Yeah, so welcome, Kyle. It's
Hi,
better late than
everybody.
never.
This is your second time on the show, I think, now, right? I
Yeah.
think this is...
Yeah, hopefully not the last.
No, it won't be the last
definitely
time.
not. But we got to make sure you get here on time, though.
Oh, he's calling you out on that one, man.
Hey, nobody even noticed until you called it out.
I'm sure they didn't.
Obviously, you're a time traveler, right?
Yeah.
That must
you
be it.
intended on being here at this time.
Well, it's what
They
is that?
just
The
weren't
Lord,
aware.
The Lord of the Rings quote. A wizard is never early or late. He arrives precisely when he means to. So we'll just pretend like you're a wizard, right?
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're
So-
a lizard, Harry.
All right, we're off the rails. All right, first topic that we want to get into is so the Star Wars Episode 9 premiere was last night. It's coming out for the masses, for the general unwashed public like us. I think I have tickets to Thursday night, so the
Same.
preview night opening, so I'll be going to see it Thursday night. But first reactions have been mostly positive from people that were at the premiere. There's a few people that didn't really like it, but been hearing mostly positive things. So I don't want to get into any spoiler talk. We're not going to talk about anything. We're not even going to talk about trailers or anything like that. I know you in particular stay away from all that stuff. I've seen the first trailer, and then I've avoided TV spots and everything else since then. So
I actively choke people out if you start talking about trailers. So
I will not get choked out because we're not going to talk about that.
Forced joke.
in a video game, in Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
not in real life. That doesn't happen. There's
But,
no real physical threats.
talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on Episode 9. I mean, Episode 7 and 8 obviously have come out in the last few years. Been kind of divisive. Some people haven't loved them. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Episode 7 and 8? Do you love them? Are you okay with them? Do you hate them? Where do you guys stand?
Have you seen them recently?
Not recently.
Okay.
I saw them when they came out.
Yeah.
But I do like Rey as a character.
Yeah.
Just having a strong female lead in general is pretty nice to see. But
Yeah.
I think my favorite part was Luke just doing the mind thing against Kylo Ren in the fight, and then all of a sudden just that was
Not
your
even
imagination.
here. Yeah.
As a person that likes sword fighting, it's if you could get in someone's head that bad, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Force projection part at The Last Jedi. Yeah, that's cool.
I think a lot of the controversies of The Last Jedi are are it's mainly like world-breaking issues.
Yeah.
Like a lot of force powers. I know that the hyperspace tackle is like a huge. What is her name? The general
The
who.
general?
The
pink hair,
Hondo.
Yeah.
Is it
The
Hondo?
the Honda whatever the something her name maneuver.
Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy on that.
Right.
I think it's one of the most beautiful shots in cinema.
It's super cool.
It's super beautiful looking, but it
Yeah.
totally breaks a lot of lore. People have been dissecting like what it means.
Sure.
I think one of my favorite theories was that like one of the big space federations basically said that like it's such an intense thing, it's basically like chemical warfare. So it's completely outlawed in all war.
Gotcha.
So that's why it never happens. So a moment that people feel is like, oh, heroic, amazing, great, is actually probably technically really morally gray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that's more the grade.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold up. On the against the law thing, I mean, it's the Empire. Now it's the,
It's the First Order. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really think the bad guys follow the rules?
No, they definitely don't.
Well, but that's what separates us from them. So we're not the ones that are supposed
But we're
to.
the good guys that did break the law.
But she just did.
And then
That's
then
the
she
point.
does. I think,
So-
super risky maneuver. Like,
Well, and I-
anything could have happened.
Yeah, I mean, from a filmmaking standpoint, you're right. That shot is
Oh, it's one of the
beautiful. The
most
way the
breathtaking
sound
shots.
is sucked out in that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Is really cool. I definitely love it. I think, I loved The Force Awakens when it came out. I actually told the story last week where the first time I went to see it, I was like nervous the whole time. I was like, they could still Jar Jar this, like they still could. And so it was like I didn't really enjoy
Misa
the
thinks
first.
they could really mess this up.
Right, I didn't really enjoy it the first time I saw it. So like I went to see it the second time, like opening weekend, and I was like, okay, now I can relax and just enjoy the movie. And I really enjoyed it. The Last Jedi, I think, has some really high highs. Like I loved like the last hour from that moment on. And the battle in the throne room with Kylo and Rey.
yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
battle on Crate, I think I love. But I hated what they did with Finn's character. And, like, basically all the character growth he went through in Force Awakens, they just
They
reversed
kinda
it
took
all
away from him.
and made him go through, like, the same exact journey again. So I didn't like that. But for the most part, I liked The Last Jedi. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but I liked it. So I'm really looking forward to Episode 9. Kyle, you chimed in a little bit.
Can we talk about Snoke?
Let's talk about Snoke.
Okay, so just my theory for episode 9. I haven't even read like the bad spoiler list, which apparently got disproven later. I don't know.
I don't know. We're not talking spoilers.
No.
Theories are fine, but no spoilers.
I just hope that they make Snoke worthwhile. Like, oh, he was this all along, and my theory is that he was like some kind of tool for Palpatine to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I hope at least he's a payoff, because like otherwise, we built up this intense menacing character. We didn't get to see a damn thing of it.
Yeah, it was definitely an underutilized character. I think that's been one of the big flaws with the newer movies. Captain Phasma was totally underutilized. I haven't liked the way they've portrayed General Hux. They kind of undercut him, where it's.
I don't even remember who that is.
Well, that's
the problem.
the red-haired guy who's like the leader of the First Order that doesn't have Force powers, and it's like he should be a Grand Moff Tarkin. That's what I think. Like Moff Tarkin in the first Star Wars
I
is
feel like that was the point. That was the point of the character. He was meant to be like a kind of like a callback to it.
right, exactly, and they totally just they treat him like just terribly and undercut him in front of everybody, and he's like being flipped around like a rag doll. It's just, I didn't really care for that portrayal, but I do want to just talk overall Star Wars and getting out of the new series, the new trilogy. Just overall Star Wars. What are some of our favorite Star Wars moments from the entire saga? You can go off Skywalker. You don't have to use the episodes, but what are some of you guys' favorite moments of Star Wars? Kyle, I'll start with you.
It's really hard. I just watched an entire review of the prequel and original trilogy, so it's kind of hard to pick out.
What's your favorite?
I mean,
Think about when you were a kid and you came to Star Wars. What was your favorite stuff?
Do it.
All right, we've got somebody that likes Count Dooku being beheaded
What?
over here.
I don't know. I do remember I liked Attack of the Clones a lot when I was younger.
Oh,
and now I'm like, what was I thinking?
It's the worst.
I'll get your earmuffs to. Right. Yeah, I'll help you out, bud.
I do remember just liking I don't know. It had a lot everything you could want. It had romance. It had adventure. It had mystery. But having watched like a recent like summary of it, I'm like, oh damn, what was I smoking? I wasn't even smoking back then. I was just young and dumb.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've all been there. It's all right. We've all been young. And
I think really nothing tops, of course, Empire Strikes Back. The reveal, because that's just a really powerful emotion.
Yeah.
Right there, and like Mark Hamill just like played that scene so well.
Yeah. Cool.
Mark Hamill plays every scene so well.
I would agree with that. So, Aaron, what about you? You've been quiet during most of this discussion. I know you're not the biggest Star Wars fan, but...
I mean, my thing, and I've always argued this, we've had 9 movies of Skywalkers. 9 out of 11 movies, technically, are all about the Skywalkers. And I've complained about that. So my biggest thing right now, I'm still loving The Mandalorian. So that's kind of, like, the whole series so far I've enjoyed really well, because it's not about this overpowered character or anything. It's like your typical... I'm just a regular person.
He's definitely not overpowered because he does get his butt kicked in like every episode.
And I like it. I like someone that has to struggle. Like, oh crap, like you may actually like get really jacked up in this one, man. Mm-hmm. So I'm enjoying that. I mean, I always said I like that. What was it? The droid that has the shield around him.
Oh, the droidicas.
Yeah, I always like those guys. I thought they were really cool. Like
that's a cool design.
You mean the roly-polies?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to push you down the hill and be like, yeah, roly-polies.
I remember those came out as like a Lego set, and you could like
yes.
roll them up, and you could flip it. Me as a kid, I was like, this is awesome.
It's a cool design.
I think that's why I like them, because it's like, they're so cool looking. Like,
it's called the ball, guys. It's called the ball.
Yeah, I think for me, like, the Star Wars moment that still to this day, like, is still very impactful is actually the entire throne room scene from Return of the Jedi between Palpatine, Darth Vader, and Luke, where Palpatine is like kind of baiting Luke, keeps trying to get him to give in to his anger, and it's finally that moment where Darth Vader says you have a sister, your twin sister. If you can't be turned, perhaps she will, and that's what finally gets him to like break, and he just like is going to town on Vader, and it's like that final moment where he kind of sees his father. Just like weak. He's already, he's cut his hand off, or, his machine hand off at that point, and then he kind of realizes what he's doing and he throws it away. And so that whole scene is just super powerful to me, and the screams of as he's being hit with the Force lightning, Father, please! Like that the emotion of that moment. And then I hate that Lucas changed it and made Darth Vader yell the word no. Like, because in the original, like, he's just silent as he's, like, making his decision, and I think that's more powerful. Like, I don't think you need to add that word in, but I still think it's one of the best Star Wars scenes, and for me, like, I think I was probably like 9 or 10 when I really remember. Like, I watched them when I was younger than that, but that was like, that's when I remember, and that scene in particular, building off Empire, and Luke, I am your father, and now you have this whole scene like that. To me, has always stuck with me. That's my favorite Star Wars moment. So,
I think one of the most amazing things about that moment is that it doesn't. When you look at it in retrospect, after seeing all the prequels and after kind of knowing about the choices that Anakin made to get where he is, that's the moment where Luke does the thing that Anakin probably wished that he could have done.
Sure.
He could have like learned to understand his emotions and kind of actually flesh out who he was, and Anakin would have never turned into Vader the way that he did.
Right.
And Luke gets to be there in front of his father and gets to like make that choice that Anakin probably wishes at some level he could have done, which obviously you see through his like quick, his moments of redemption and that. So I think that's why that moment also resonates really emotionally with me, because there's so much character depth in one scene.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's insane.
And of course, it's intercut with stuff on Endor and stuff with the space battle, which is all great too. But I'm just like, everything in the throne room is like, that's why I love that stuff.
I have two. I think I probably have two moments that are like pretty awesome to me. One is because it's very fresh in my mind, and the other is because I just think it's outright amazing and cool.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys play Jedi Fallen Order? The game?
Joker?
No.
It's the Joker, man. Come on.
Wait. What do you mean the Joker?
So the main person in the Fallen Order, that actor is the guy who played the Joker in Gotham.
Oh.
So he is technically the Joker.
Yeah, he plays Cal, right?
I haven't watched
Mark
Gotham,
Hamill's
so
the
now I
Joker
get
too,
that.
so
That's true.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
there's
Yeah,
like,
so Joker's always been holding on.
this is a multi-level joke right now.
The only thing I know about Fallen Order so far is that it's really glitch heavy and it's hilarious.
Oh man, I think I was very fortunate and didn't experience any glitches in my playthrough.
Nice.
Which
Oh,
was
nice.
yeah, that was
It'll all happen on the
amazing.
second playthrough. That happened to me in Batman was it
Oh, that's
Arkham
the worst.
Origins?
Yeah.
Like I got clipped out of a wall and fell into nothingness, and I'm like, oh,
Perfect.
great.
This is my life now.
There's like a very specific moment that's it's very late in the game. It's very spoiler heavy. But for those that know, it's like a super late game moment that's extremely terrifying, and like you will scream your head off as you go through
Bloody
it.
murder.
Yeah,
Bloody
yeah, you
murder.
pretty much will. You'll freak out. Like it's
Nice.
terrifying. Kind of gives you some of those old terrifying feelings, like whenever Vader walks onto a field, it's like
Yeah.
It's that level of terror.
Yeah.
And so I think the one that I could like really talk about is the ending of Rogue One. Where Vader
With
you just-
Vader?
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a huge
That was a
Vader
good scene.
yeah, I don't know, I think I just like villains.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
And Vader's introduction in the first movie is great, where he just walks onto the ship. Everything else is white around him. Vader steps out. So yeah, I mean, scenes with Vader are great. That scene where he just goes to town
it's
on
all
people.
all black tunnel,
Yeah.
and you kind of like hear the noise, and it just comes out, and then
Yeah.
he just goes crazy, just goes ham.
Well, and I love the way that scene ends too, with the ship getting away, and actually that movie came out, like the week before Carrie Fisher passed away, and so that movie ends with a shot of CGI Carrie Fisher, saying what is it? It's hope. And I remember the first time I saw it, she hadn't passed away yet, and the second I went back right after she had passed away, and I was like, I'm in the theater, and I'm like, oh my god, like Carrie Fisher's dead.
You ever seen that? the dog who has the tissue, the dog's.
So yeah, that's a very powerful scene, because it's like you're totally geeked about Darth Vader just doing that, but then you also remember like, oh, he's the bad guy.
Yeah. Redeemed eventually. Gets there. Yeah,
Sort of. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff that he did.
Sure. Definitely.
So since you brought up Fallen Order, I do want to bring up one of my favorite Star Wars games. Was it The Force Unleashed? Has anybody played that?
I
I
didn't play
played a
it.
little bit of that one. You do crazy stuff with the Force on that one.
So, obviously there's a final battle at the end. You have actually either a good or evil choice. You either fight the Emperor, and unfortunately our character dies. But the other option is to just fight Vader.
Oh, sick.
And you get to see Vader,
Nice.
cut loose throughout the battle. Like his helmet becomes half off, so you just see the crusty old pale white man underneath.
Nice. Yeah, they show that in Rebels a couple times in the TV show where
I can't wait.
And it
I'm
also-
watching Rebels for the first time right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's actually DLC. I've been intending to play this. I actually have a complete version on PC, but there are what ifs actually. And so
Oh, those are
if
great.
you pick the evil ending where you beat Darth Vader, you basically become the new Darth Vader. So
new
you're
apprentice,
like a cyborg in a suit.
Oh, nice.
And so you're sent to Hoth to kill either Luke or Han Solo. I think you kill Luke on Hoth,
Nice.
and you also kill Han Solo on Endor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I love seeing these what ifs.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kylo Ren, you ain't gonna
Yeah.
get that. Kylo.
Right?
So, all right,
That's
we
the
don't
one.
want to leave Jake out. So, Jake,
Oh, mine's super simple. I just like when Darth Maul fights
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a whole bunch.
Oh,
I just saw
that's a good
him
scene.
like first time he came out. I was like, this was like one cool. Then I was like,
oh yeah,
oh fuck!
which definitely no, you're good.
I tried.
That is the reaction.
moment. That's the moment where you get it.
Well, and it is true, because in that movie, you see him fight earlier, but he only fights with one blade.
Yeah.
And his handle looks really long,
Yeah.
but only if you really notice
That
it.
could be like a personal
you know.
preference.
Yeah, and it would only stand out, like I said, if you really were looking for it. And so, yeah, that first time where, like, you see him, he opens it goes this way, and he's got it horizontal, and it's like, that's a weird look, and then all of a sudden the second one comes out, and you're like, ah!
Yeah.
And that battle is very...
prophecy.
Yeah, the choreography on that was fantastic. I love Qui-Gon and just like that whole...
Yeah, and like the energy shields kind of separating them out before
Yeah.
the final. Like that's a really cool visual. Like that's definitely one of the saving graces of the prequels.
It makes for such an amazing tense moment
Yeah.
for like you just killed him. You wait.
Right,
Wait,
and
wait
Obi-Wan's
until this
just
drops.
Obi-Wan's just seething,
Yeah.
and he's trying to get his anger under control because he knows he shouldn't be fighting with anger, all that stuff. But
Well,
yeah,
because Jedi's hate it if you have any emotions whatsoever.
it's true. It's a weird bit.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, so we're super excited for episode 9. We will be putting up a review about that after we get a chance to watch it. So be on the lookout for that. But now we're gonna
Can I give a quick shout out to a web series that's highly underrated?
100% no, Kyle.
But it's Star Wars related.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
But no.
In that case,
I don't know if anybody's heard of Chad Vader.
I have heard of Chad.
is this like the Chad meme level?
No.
Okay,
this
that's
predates.
good. Okay.
Predates Chad.
All right.
So it's a very silly premise of Chad Vader is Darth Vader's cousin, and he manages a grocery store. So
Oh man.
he walks around the grocery store treating it like the Death Star.
Oh
It's like, I see you, the new laser checkout systems are now in working order. Excellent. So yeah, very awesome underrated web series. But fun fact though I do want to throw out is that guy, I mean, he obviously had a professional Vader costume and did the voice very well. They actually hired him to do all of the non-James Earl Jones appearances of Darth Vader.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
cool.
I know exactly. Yeah, I know his voice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So he's
really
on all
cool.
the games, the cartoons,
Yep.
etc.
Oh, they should have
Nice.
got him for Rogue One because James Earl Jones is really old, and you can tell in that movie. But all right, we're gonna move on to the 2019 Game Awards. So
That's huge.
I am not a big gamer, but I know Kyle, you're a big gamer. I know you are as
Yep.
well.
Yeah.
I love how you left
and-
me out. I'm sitting right here.
And I was gonna get
back.
back to you because I'm gonna make you lead this conversation, Aaron.
Do it.
You're the one that has to
So-
lead it because it's not gonna be me.
Yeah, it's true. So guys, yeah, so we just had the Game of the Year awards basically. So we've had a lot of nominations, and I honestly was surprised. I'm going to start with the main one, Game of the Year. So we had Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, the 2019 remake, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Outer Worlds, which I was actually kind of surprised that one made it, honestly, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. So out of all of those, the winner ended up being Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for Game of the Year. Real quick, since that's the biggest title, obviously, that award you want to win. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think it was worth it? I mean, I played most of them except that one actually.
I mean, at this point, like, the biggest joke in game reviews is it's like Dark Souls.
Great.
So, the fact that that's still a working formula, that said, though, it does then have a lot of the elements of a Dark Souls game. Funny enough, I've never actually played a Dark Souls game proper, but I did play Sekiro. The one element I didn't really like of it was if you keep dying enough, not only are you constantly purging money, but then you purge even more money with each death because of the sickness or whatever it was that the character comes down with. That's like the reason why you can keep coming back to life. Other than that, though, I mean, very, very solid action game, though. Really, really brutal as advertised. Yeah, I'm a little surprised, the game that just kind of like as hardcore as that, it didn't really break new ground.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I really thought like Outer World had a good chance, but it kind of reminds me of Fallout 76, just a good version. And then we have
It's a low
Resident
bar.
That's a low bar. That's a low bar to accidentally trip over.
I mean, that's true. It's like, oh, hey, I did better than that game. And they're still going under. But
I love making fun of my brother-in-law for still loving the game.
I was so mad I even bought that game. But what about you, Dim? Because I know you play games. Do you think that was a good choice for Game of the Year?
I think it was a good choice for Game of the Year.
Okay.
I mean, relatively speaking to some of the other games, all of them are worthy of being up there.
Yeah.
I think they're all... So, like, one of the things I've talked a lot about was that even just being a nominee in the Game Awards, it's a really big recognition.
Oh, yeah.
To be said that, like, these whole 5 games are considered to be the best games that we've had in this entire year, regardless of genre and such.
Yeah.
One thing that I think is really interesting that you kind of hit on a second ago was that we've had 2 Soulsborne games win in a row, Game of the Year. God of War, the developers have said its gameplay loop is extremely inspired by Dark Souls.
Yeah.
The new God of War was absolutely like a Dark Souls themed game. Like it was designed to play that way. And then Sekiro, exact same thing. And for those 2 to win back to back, I think it kind of says something about the shift of what we perceive a good game is now.
Yeah.
And I think that there's more emphasis on real-time combat. And I think we're straying from hack and slash, which, it can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. I think that, like, diversifying combat games, because, we've always had, like, here's a top-down combat game, here's a third-person combat game, but now we're starting to, like, sub-genre action combat games into more than just, this is a game where you hit stuff with a sword. Now it's like, well, this is a game that puts emphasis on reaction time and like, intense punishment. Soulsborne. I mean,
And
Dark.
before that, like Arkham was the game everybody wanted to rip
Yeah.
off.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
this is a rhythm-based like action game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true. And then, so we also had for the next award was action game, which we had Metro Exodus, Gears 5, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's the new one that they came out with, not the original ones. Astral Chain, Apex Legends, and Devil May Cry 5, which Devil May Cry 5 did win that award. And I was actually happy because I was worried it was going to be like Call of Duty winning that one. So I'm happy people are kind of
I
like getting
find
away
it
from it.
weird to have a character action game.
What a
and
mess of a
FPS
category.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thrown in the same category. Like, why does FPS have its own category? I might have missed that part of the show.
No. it
So
does not.
it's kind of relegated
That's
to
weird.
multiplayer. It's generally FPSs get relegated down to like multiplayer game. So like best multiplayer is in this list as well. And so like that's kind of the FPS category. I don't know why they wanted to. What a mess. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my only response. Like that category is such a.
It's not like there aren't enough categories. I mean,
Yeah.
this is my first time actually watching the Game Awards proper this year. I was one of those, fools hoping for a Smash, reveal for Smash Bros.
I was hoping for a Sonic movie reveal. We both didn't get what we want.
Hey, at least we already seen what the new design looks like.
Yeah.
It's God, so much better.
Tyson Hess, the designer who was behind the whole redesign. He's a wonderful guy.
And now he's homeless because they all got fired.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, so he didn't work for that studio. There's a lot to unpack with that.
Yeah.
I'd have to come in on an off day to do it.
Special video.
Do a
Whole
special
other
video.
show.
Yeah.
So the next show will be
Well, the
next
important
episode.
thing to note is that my conspiracy theory is that they had that design in their back pocket the whole time, and they just no. I'm just-
I believe,
Yeah.
I believe that.
Oh yeah, people
I
believe
believe
that. I totally don't. I've shaken Tyson's hand, and boy, that guy was sweating so hard around that time.
I'll bet.
I bet that guy was freaking out. But I mean, yeah, a lot of announcements that were teased for the Game Awards didn't happen. Like
But,
because we had
you
the
know,
Smash tease.
I
We had the
feel like
Sonic
I've
tease.
seen this before where everyone had these expectations. Oh, right, Persona. When everyone thought Persona was coming to the Switch, and like, surprise, guys, it's the Dynasty Warrior games. Everyone's like, no, it's not what we wanted. It's like, we never said that was going to happen, guys.
Like we just said,
I don't know why you got this crazy idea.
Didn't know you were gonna get socks for Christmas, did you?
no, you got socks now.
We just said you were getting a present. We didn't say what it was.
These are Valentine's socks. It's not even Valentine's Day.
It's okay. It can still count.
They're still comfortable. You better be appreciative of that.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, there's a lot of awards out for this, guys. So if you want to go check them out, you can definitely go online and look them up. What other one I wanted to touch on, which I want to see what everybody's thought is on this one. Mobile game winners. So we had What the Golf,
I don't even know why.
Sky the Children of Light, and I'm laughing because of Dib's reactions now. Sayona, Wild Hearts, Grindstone, and Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Of course, that's what they're gonna win.
We are a multi-billion dollar Chinese company built with Activision to build a Chinese Call of Duty mobile game, and it's gonna win Game of the Year for mobile games.
And it did.
That's
And
also
it
brand
did.
recognition right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't play a lot of mobile games, but I was just like, I don't
I
want
see
any
people
of-
on like airplanes always playing these like weird FPS games in their phone. I'm like, that must play like crap. Like,
Have you ever seen like a 7-year-old kid play Minecraft on an iPad? It's amazing how well they can actually move around and look around.
Well,
It, like-
Microsoft sunk a ton of money into Minecraft.
Like I mean, imagine looking at an FPS game on a tablet using touchscreen controls. It sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like it's the worst.
But these
kids are just,
man.
oh my god.
These kids, man.
It's
They
the
got
little fingers,
They
man.
got
It's the little
dexterity,
fingers.
and their mind is like
It's like they have like fine motor skills or something.
I don't know.
Not like they've been through 20 years of bull
we
crap.
we
so-
start losing that.
on
Very
that
early
touchscreen
on.
subject, when I've done a lot of marketing stuff inside Best Buy. Is the first thing kids do run up to the TV and be like, touch it.
Yeah.
They're
It's gonna
trained.
start.
They're
So
trained from a
trained.
young age.
For sure.
Us
What's
millennials
this?
don't have that training.
What's this $10,000 quantum dot OLED display?
Why isn't it moving? That's funny.
So I mean, those are the main games I wanted to kind of just touch on. Again, guys, if you want to check it out, there was a strategy game awards, VR game award, sports racing
Ton of
game.
Oh no, Beat Saber
Um,
won VR. Who knew that was gonna happen?
No, No Man's Sky had
there was
such
a lot
a
of
chance.
competition.
Yo,
Wait,
what,
it's
I don't know, I
no,
really
Skyrim
like-
wouldn't be on there
what is it
because it's too
called?
old.
yo,
Too old,
what
yeah.
the golf got stolen? They got robbed.
They did. Those poor guys,
Yeah.
they're crying somewhere.
I don't know.
So definitely check it out, guys. But why don't you go to our another segment that we're doing today? Because this is our last show for about 2 weeks.
Yep, last show before
Um,
Christmas. We're next Tuesday's Christmas Eve. We're not
Yeah.
going to do a Talking Geek. The
Robert
week after
told me
that
no.
is New Year's Eve.
He told me
I'll be at
no.
a wedding. So,
Hanukkah starts the day of I
The
think
22nd, right?
20. Yeah, a couple days right before. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
close.
Gotta
So,
get my menorah out.
yeah, we will not be doing another Talking Geek until the new year.
That's fine
Um,
because I'm not seeing Star Wars till Christmas Day, anyways.
Yeah, you're
Oh
good.
wow.
I'm
So-
not seeing Star
It's time to
Wars
catch up.
until, I don't know.
You still haven't seen episode 8. Be quiet.
I will go watch it.
Be
What?
quiet.
I haven't.
I know. It's fine.
And
Are
to
you
be
busy
fair,
there?
I mean, after all the feedback,
I've been yelling at
I
him
would
about it
like
for a
to see
month.
it.
So.
Let's
I have
go. I'll
another
bring
show
the
we have to
popcorn.
record.
But anyways,
I'll break down
it's Christmas time, so we want to do whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever
Kwanzaa.
people give gifts this time of year, right? So
Merry Kwanzaa.
we wanted to come up with some fun geeky ideas that you might get for that geek in your life if you're thinking about what you might want to get them. So, Aaron, why don't you kick us off? What's your favorite geeky idea that you have for this year?
So, this one you kind of would have to buy ahead of time, so it may not be as a present,
Mm.
but I thought it was really cool. And it's the piranha plant from Mario Christmas ornament. I thought it was cool because I want a Mario little ornament for my tree.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I think that'd be kind of cool. You can go look at that one up at Amazon. Had it. It was like $12 though too, so it wasn't
Not bad.
expensive
Yeah.
either. So you can get it really cheap. That's definitely something you just buy, put on the tree. Or you
On
can
a
save it
follow up
there.
to that, I actually picked up the Mario Star tree topper at GameStop.
Oh, nice!
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they had a Black Friday discount, 40% off, so it came out to about like $12 as opposed to 20.
Not even
That's
that.
The
bad.
one downside
Even
though,
20 wouldn't be bad.
it uses double A's for whatever
Aw.
reason.
Oh, not
So
even triple
I only
A's.
turned on for guests. I only turn on for guests.
And the
You know,
Doesn't
only
stand
they
the
may
whole time.
enjoy the invincibility of the
I had
star.
to take the batteries out of my controller.
Well, I mean, just like the game, it only lasts for a limited time.
Exactly.
That works.
We're just
It's
going to use
on
the
brand.
war as an excuse for GameStop being cheap.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
They're still in business.
That's how.
Amazing.
Which is crazy. Yeah.
Some-
that's-
I've heard rumors that some of them aren't even taking gift cards anymore.
Wow.
Well, they're flexing
But
they're
this is
flexing
only
their play
rumors.
real hard right now.
Yeah,
They
they're
they should have gone into game streaming way earlier. They
Oh,
were in the
for
perfect
sure.
position for it.
Yep.
Whatever. That's okay.
So, another one, Robert, that your wife mentioned was the Mario magnets.
Yeah, for
Ooh.
you can build your own level basically on your refrigerator. So it's like
yeah.
so
the bricks and all that stuff where you can just.
If you're-
I'm gonna give it to myself.
I have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, sure.
1 day delivery.
Yeah, so if you
this
could
live,
just
you
give
can
me
see-
your credit card number right here, I'll order it.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
there you go.
perfect. So that'll be 5
And
to. Oh,
don't fall for that one. I did.
Hey, it's here this time.
Yeah.
I ordered mics and I never got them.
They're here. They're here.
Um,
So I mean, it's on right now. If you're watching us live, you can see it has the little blocks. Looks like the pipes, the mushrooms, the
Mhm.
one up, the big one, Mario, Luigi, couple of little turtles, and the mystery blocks.
Yeah, so you
So-
can buy a bunch of stuff, you can build your own level, you can do it all. It looks super cool. I know one of the things I wanted to mention too, and we've talked about it before, is Simplistic Geek. They actually recently changed their name, Simplistic Geek, the soft shirt place. So they're out of Gatlinburg in Tennessee. Actually, I think, Aaron, you're sporting one of their
I see.
shirts right now.
Yeah, I don't think have I worn this one on the show.
I think you might have,
Oh, yeah.
might have
My
once or
Spider-Man
twice.
one? Yeah.
But it's
Are
just...
they into the Spider-Verse?
No, I wish
Yeah.
it was.
But they just do really cool t-shirt designs. It's simple, geeky designs. I know I have a Baby Yoda on the way, which I'm very excited about.
Praise Baby Yoda.
Yeah, check them out. You can find them on Facebook, or whatever. Simplistic Geek, the soft shirt place. They have really cool t-shirt designs, and it's a local artist there. He does all his own drawings and everything. He does so. You're supporting, even though you might be buying it from a distance. You're supporting a small business, supporting someone local that
You're directly supporting an artist.
He's a geeky nerd artist, just like we all are. We all do art in our different ways. he does his by drawing and makes T-shirts, and they're really cool. So I definitely recommend those T-shirts. And they call themselves the soft shirt place, and the shirts are super soft.
They really are. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a cool shirt. So
I need to buy.
What about you guys? You got any geeky items on your Christmas lift gifts?
Lift? So
List?
I mean, are we
List?
call him a lift too?
A lift? If I could get a whole lift worth of geeky gifts,
Yeah,
no,
sure.
that's it. That's the play.
Classic one I like, if you're like running out of ideas, is from the Fifth Element. You can get the stones as candles.
Oh yeah,
Oh, wow.
those are cool. I've seen
So
those.
That
that's
is
always
cool.
you can and you burn them out. You can get them again next year.
Nice.
There you go.
I like
Rinse
that.
and repeat.
Nice. I don't think I have anything in particular. I mean, I would always recommend like, hey, you always run out of deodorant sometimes, or you need deodorant. That's a geeky gift
The
to me.
geek in your life definitely means
the geek in
deodorant.
your life.
I guess it smell. Possibly.
I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
I love it.
Sharing a car with this one.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I feel bad for him.
What about you, Kyle? Anything you can think of?
Well, I already own it.
You own it besides your. Oh, you got your tree topper. Anything else you think?
Oh no! Besides that, I have a Han Solo frozen in carbonite bottle opener that sticks on my fridge.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I think I had an
Where'd you
extra
get that?
thing
Just
like
online or?
I got it at a comic book store actually.
Johan.
Funny enough, it was one of those. I had been out on the road way too long and was not coming home when I said I would. So it was kind of one of my get out of the doghouse kind of gifts.
Look, baby, what I bought us.
Exactly.
What I bought
But
us.
Cindy is also a huge fan of Harrison Ford and Han Solo.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, how could you not be?
Yeah.
That's true.
So, geeky items, if you've got some fun geeky items that are on your list or that you're buying for someone, throw that in the comments, throw it on our page on Get Your Geek On. Maybe, some other people will be interested in buying that item too. So, moving on to our next topic, and I think we're just going to touch on this very briefly because we're almost out of time. Watchmen just ended on HBO. I know I watched it. I don't think anyone else has. Anyone else been watching it? Kyle, have you?
If you let me my password, I'll binge on it.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So, anyways, it just wrapped up. We're going to be actually releasing a series review or a season review sometime, hopefully later this week, where you'll hear my full thoughts on it. But overall, I liked it. I didn't love it. I thought that the new characters and everyone they introduced, I really liked that, and the new storylines. I didn't love the way they portrayed some of the original characters. But, spoiler review coming later. We'll talk about that more. But I don't want to spoil it for anyone in the room. Just like I don't want to spoil it for people over there.
I have seen a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And what I do know of it, I do like the fact that it does follow the comic directly.
Yeah, it is definitely a sequel to the comic, not to the 2009 movie.
Which I am
Which ends
surprised
very
about. It kind of reminds me, they made, back when the Peter Jackson movies were getting made, they had games based on the Peter Jackson movies, and also Lord of the Rings games based on the books, and it was weird having those on the market at the same time.
Yeah,
that's kind of
I think if the movie had been more commercially or critically successful, perhaps they would have done sequels to that. But I think that there's a lot of Watchmen fans out there. The people that they were making this show for, the audience they were making this show for, are going to be fans of the comic, not of the movie necessarily. So I think they made the right choice in doing that. And like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it. My sister, who has not read the comic at all, she started watching the show, and then she decided that she needed some background on the comic, so she read it like a review or a recap of the comic. She loved the show. She thought it was great. So I think maybe I just had different
I can't
expectations.
imagine following that show without knowing the comic.
Which was my thought too, and I told her as much, but I was like, but also I'm really interested to hear what your thoughts are. So she loved it. She thought it was a really great show. I think my expectations were different just because of the history I was coming to it. It's like my favorite comic, so coming to it with that knowledge and with all the knowledge of the different characters, I think there were just some things that didn't necessarily resonate with me. But overall, it's very well shot. It's very well acted. It's a very high quality entertainment. But wasn't my favorite thing. So when you guys check it out,
we'll definitely
you'll have to
get that video up. So
Wow,
check
that
it
sounds
out,
cool.
too.
we will.
So the other thing we have,
Yeah.
a lot of movie news, right?
Yeah, just the kind of final few things there were. And this was all kind of last week, really. They announced some release dates for upcoming movies. So Shazam 2 got its release date. It's coming out now in April of 2022.
And a week
actually,
before Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they had previously announced Spider-Verse coming out, and so that's also
far
coming out
out.
around that same time. So yeah, Shazam
I'm excited for that one.
has some time
Oh,
that's
yeah.
coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super excited. Yeah, for both of those, Spider-Verse, and I really liked the first Shazam.
I
so,
loved the first.
I thought it was really good.
I think that's the best DC movie out. Period.
I'm a Wonder Woman guy.
I'm a Wonder Woman person too. Yep.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Right
But
there.
I love Shazam too.
I think they're both great.
I think Shazam had way more heart than Wonder Woman.
Ooh, I will disagree with you respectfully. on that
Oh,
one.
I can't go against
there's
Wonder
fight
Woman.
words in a minute, guys.
I think most of my biases towards like just liking Shazam in general comes to the fact that I adore Zachary Levi as an actor.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
Absolutely love him.
Did you see him at the convention?
No.
He's just funny going up on this. Did you
Oh
go
yeah,
there,
yeah.
right?
I was there. I was there.
Is he,
It was-
I was a huge Chuck fan growing up.
I
I watched
love-
I watched
Chuck is such a great
so
show.
much. Yeah. So that's why I discovered Zachary Levi. That's what drew me to Shazam.
Makes sense.
I don't think I would have otherwise, honestly.
Probably, yeah. I'm right there with you, I think, on that.
So yeah, so that one got announced, and then also they announced WB announced the Flash, or not WB. Yeah, no, it's WB.
So,
They announced the Flash and also the Matrix 4. Yeah,
My name is
weird
This
Ezra
camera
Miller
goes.
running the Flash coming out also in 2022 in July. And then before that, we've got the Matrix, the fourth Matrix movie coming out in May of 2021.
Isn't
Which
John
Wick-
Wick?
Along with John Wick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't John Wick for
Same
yeah.
day.
they're supposedly on the same day. And Keanu Reeves is going to be in the new Matrix movie along with Carrie-Anne Moss returning.
wow.
So
He's got no
And
eyes.
in John Wick, funny enough.
So yes, and he will be in John Wick. So I'm interested to see if they move one of those because you don't see actors get two movies on the same weekend very often. And especially
People
those
are like hot for Keanu right now, though. So.
they are, but I feel like those movies have a very similar audience. Like so, I would be surprised
Yeah,
if they
sure.
left them
Definitely.
on the same weekend. But what do you guys? I mean, are you guys excited for it?
That's gonna be the best double feature ever.
To me,
Yeah,
they're calling.
You
this
can't
the
get me out of
Matrix.
that theater.
Yeah, they're calling.
You know what? I would probably just see John Wick 4 first, and then maybe not go see Matrix because I avoided the sequel for years.
Well, this is my point is that they're calling this the Matrix 4, but there's only ever been one. I don't know what they're talking about. What are the?
Why are they calling
It was
it?
one very long.
I'm very confused because there's only ever been one Matrix movie, right?
Yeah, there's Matrix, and then there's like there's the anime music video.
The
Matrix.
Animatrix, you know, that
Well,
was
that
okay.
one.
No,
Yeah.
you can't deny the burly brawl. The
Yeah.
one good thing out of that movie.
But yeah, Matrix Reloaded,
tried.
Matrix Revolutions, not very good.
When are we gonna get a Keanu Reeves cinematic universe? Is that?
I mean,
we pretty much need to get that now.
Yeah.
Like, look at all the
Bill
work.
and Ted just pops up somewhere.
he was in Toy Story 4.
Oh yeah,
Like,
oh yeah. What was it?
Yeah,
It was
actually,
Canada,
speaking
Canada
of Bill
Man,
and Ted,
right?
yeah.
They have there's some pictures actually of the set
Yes.
from
Yeah.
Face the Music. Actually,
They're making
That's
another
gonna be
Bill and
so
Ted as well.
stupid,
Yeah.
man.
Oh
So
wow.
What's gonna be funny is we're gonna see them see their younger selves. And I forgot the actor who played
Alex something.
Right, but they're gonna see that, and Keanu's gonna look at him and say, "I look good." Like, what happened to me, man?
Keanu aged well.
As long as Jason Mewes doesn't come out and be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Starts dancing.
And I don't know if this is official art or just fan made art, but I did see like on the subject of Matrix 4 and John Wick, right?
John Wick 4, yeah.
There's the two of them at a table facing off each other with guns.
Perfect.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So,
That'd be really fun.
so I don't know. I mean, out of those movies, out of Shazam, Matrix, The Flash, what are you guys most excited? Are you guys excited for all of them?
Flash.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't talked about Flash yet.
Oh,
Tell me
man.
why. Why are you so excited about weird running Flash?
So the 100%, the sole reason why I'm a geek, like this is like core essence of like,
Okay.
dude, I flew out the womb and immediately grabbed a Game Gear and played Sonic.
Nice.
And ever
Okay.
since then, I was a Speedster fan.
Okay.
Anything, if it's got a Speedster, I'm in it. And so, like, I just, when you see The Flash, and I loved it, and I wanted to watch it. I love the CW show, The Flash. It's got really good, it's got really high highs. It's got incredibly low lows.
Yeah.
I mean, just watch the first 2 seasons. That's kind of all you really need to, like, love it. You can stop there if you wanted
Tom
to.
Cavanaugh keeps me. I won't lie.
100%. Tom Cavanaugh's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
I love some of the what's his Kevin the guy behind Clerks.
Oh, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
He some of the episodes that he's directed on The
Oh,
Flash
yeah.
are some of the best ones out there. I adore speedsters, and so I want to see the Flash have his own movie because I think he deserves movie level budget for visuals.
Yeah.
And
On that
wanna see
subject,
that.
though, Ezra
Miller.
Ezra.
Yeah.
It's a weird name. I always mispronounce it.
I'm terrible with names.
Okay, Kyle.
He has a very different take on the Flash, though.
Yeah, his Barry Allen's a little. His Barry Allen is such not a Barry Allen. It's such a Wally West.
Yeah.
It
Well,
comes off like that.
And
So
it really
Wally
is.
West, yeah.
I think the whole
Animated
because that's
Justice League
all
Wally
in the
West.
Snyderverse.
Oh,
I mean, you've
perfect.
got a Clark Kent that doesn't look or feel like Clark Kent. You've got a Bruce Wayne that doesn't really act like Bruce Wayne.
Because Zack Snyder hates superheroes.
Yeah, so
how many
I don't
Spider-Man
think
movies
it's
have we
I don't think it's that
We've had
surprising.
so many Spider-Men. We've had so many
Right?
Peter Parkers.
Well, yeah, and I'm just saying I don't think it's that surprising that we got a Flash that doesn't really act like the Flash we're used to, at least the Barry Allen Flash.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with
When
like
you
a
look at the rest of the
socially
characters in that.
awkward Flash. It'll be kind of like a dash of Peter Parker in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I can't stand about the show though? Cisco.
Really?
Aw.
Ooh, that's
He
rough.
like
kills it
Cisco,
for
man.
me.
That's rough.
He is just like that. Hi guys, I'm the starting nerd. I'll make all these bad references, and I'm gonna make everybody cringe.
Wow.
And he made me cringe, and I couldn't finish the first season.
It's okay,
Yeah.
Kyle. We can't all have good opinions, so.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, my thing is with that too.
Can't stand that guy.
Like, don't worry, this is his last year. He's
I
done.
love.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
I don't think I'm gonna play
even,
catch up on that though. I stopped watching Arrow because Arrow got really bad.
Arrow.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I refuse to watch Arrow. There's a lot of fun in it, but it's not enough for me to say in it. I will gladly enjoy the crossovers. That's it.
My favorite DC like character is Deathstroke. Like,
Oh, I
period.
love
Hell
that.
yeah.
So, like,
Well, they
him-
made him pull it out. That's
yeah,
what sucks.
him being in like the first and like third season. I can't remember.
Actually,
He's
yeah,
in the
that's
first
exactly
and
what got me to tune in.
Yeah, I was like,
oh, you put
this,
Deathstroke in here?
this is the thing right now.
Sold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the actor was Crixus from the
Manu Bennett, yeah.
from the Gladiator show.
He also was
He's
in the
Marcus.
Hobbit movies too.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the white orc, right? I think, in that
Yeah.
one.
So I was like, this
That's awesome.
this section.
And he also got arrested in San
good.
Antonio.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
He was drunk.
He was here for Comic Con and he got arrested.
Oh,
You
great.
know the funny thing is he's like a
Perfect.
really nice guy in real life. I've
Yeah.
actually met him and like shook his hand. He's
Till he's
really.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently until he's drunk. Yeah. but-
Everyone has
Same
their
with Jeremy
crutch.
Renner, apparently. So.
Yeah.
hey,
It's
That's
terrible.
news.
So, anyways, we've got movies upon movies. They're gonna keep coming out. They keep making them. We're gonna
No, they
wanna
won't.
see them.
Stop.
Whatever. No, they're not going to stop. And so I'm really excited. So I think
That's
that's
it.
pretty much it for tonight. I want to thank again Dib and Jake for being here from thebattlepit.com.
Yeah.
It was great to have you guys here
Yes,
and having a chance to learn a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah.
And thanks for sticking around and talking with us. So
Thanks for having us. It's a
Yeah,
blast. Yeah,
of
this is a lot
course.
of fun.
Yeah, swing some stick afterwards.
Kyle, thanks for stopping by and talking with us. You guys will see him again in the new year.
Yeah,
We'll
got
let him.
plenty
We'll
of
let him
videos.
stick around.
We got plenty of videos from Andy. That
More hot takes.
Yeah, for sure. So for Aaron, I'm Robert for Get Your Geek On, and thanks again for sticking with us. And stay geeky, guys. What makes you geek? We'll see you in the new year with season 2
Merry
of Talkin
Christmas,
Geek.
Happy New Year, all that
Bye,
good stuff,
guys.
guys.
Bye.